These are the signs that you are the predator in the relationship, but you don't even know it. You might be the predator or the toxic person in the relationship, but either you know it subconsciously or maybe ignore the pattern that you are not the one. You're pointing fingers. Yes. What's the number one reason to highlight that you are the one that started the predatory pattern in the relationship? The number one key thing for you to realize, you are the one that pushed for the relationship so fast, to escalate things, to intensify the relationship in order for the relationship to happen, without giving your partner the breathing space to analyze, to assess, to dissect what he or she is trying to put him or herself into. You never give the process chance because you want things to happen so fast. So you are the predator. Because if your partner would have assessed some of the characteristics or your habits or your lifestyle or your past, maybe they wouldn't have engaged in the relationship or even given it a chance. But because you don't want your partner to have that kind of understanding over time, right? Because if you give time, obviously some of these habits will surface. So instead, you intensify, you escalate the situation so fast in order for the relationship to happen. And then your potential partner get hooked. And by the time they get to realize who you are, it might be too late for them to realize that in the first place they shouldn't have even engaged in the relationship. So that's number one reason that you might be the predator without you knowing. Which one is the second sign? The second sign is you punish withdrawal. Each time your partner withdraw or to ponder or to assess situation, right, you punish that kind of behavior, right, with hot and cold. Why? Because you want them to always be hooked to you. You want them to be entangled. You want them to always feel that they are ravished by your charming allure or presence, right? So if they make any signs of coldness, they don't show you the kind of affection you want, you punish them with hot and cold. And that's number two reason. Which one is the third reason? The third reason, right? You want to win in the relationship by any means possible by having leg up, right? By feeling that you're on top of the situation, that you are better than your potential partner or your partner, right? And that's another thing. And some people, they always like to be begged in the relationship. They always look for a scenario for the partner to be guilt-tripped into thinking that they've done something wrong. And each time they apologize, they feel powerful in the relationship. That's another form of predatory pattern. Yes. So you have to stop that kind of habit if you want to keep a long-term healthy relationship. Yes. In a relationship, everyone is equal. That's the reality of the situation. Yes, the man is always the head, which is the reality, because your leader should be respected. But at the same time, you are no less human. That's my point. You are a human being. Everyone deserves to be treated with respect, dignity, and self-esteem, right? Because we all do need it. That's the point I'm trying to say. So yes. So everyone is important. Everyone deserves to be treated fairly, right? So yes. Which one is the fourth one? The fourth one is you always study weaknesses. And once you see those weaknesses, you don't conceal them. You find the perfect opportunity, right? You time the opportunity to bring those weaknesses up in order to use them against your potential partner or your partner, right? And by so doing, that's how you damage the relationship. Because once your partner knows that you are that kind of person that always use their weaknesses against them, guess what? Now they don't feel the need to open up to you. Why? Because they know if they open up to you, you find the opportunity to bring those weaknesses up and use it against them. And so once they know you're that kind of person, they start keeping secrets from you. And guess what? Once they start keeping secrets from you, right, the relationship is going lopsided. At some point, it's going to collapse anyway, because any relationship that doesn't have transparency, you don't trust your potential partner, right, or your partner, then you're in trouble, because at some point, it's going to collapse inadvertently. That's the reality of the situation. So yes. So which one is the fifth one? The fifth one is, right, this person, because they know that you have this kind of toxic traits or habits or characteristics, right? These characteristics are making you come off as someone who is unpleasant to be around with, right? And then guess what? The person feels anxious around you. Your potential partner feels anxious around you because they know that they have to guard themselves. They have to be careful what they say, what they don't say, because they know whatever slip up, you're going to use it against them. And that kind of predatory pattern will make it difficult for the person to feel relaxed and comfortable around you. And that's how most people spoil their relationship, right? Because you don't ignore certain things. Once they see weaknesses, they always bring them up. Once they see any flaw, they always use it against their potential partner. And that's how that kind of predatory pattern will prevent you from having a healthy relationship or keep a long-term relationship. Because in a relationship, certain secrets, right, of your partner should remain between just you and him or her, right? You don't have to include a third party, tell your friend, oh, this is how my wife looks, this is how my wife behave, this is how my husband behave, or this is how my boyfriend or girlfriend behave. Those kind of habits, right, it's kind of damaging, because there should be a kind of confidentiality in a relationship, right? For them to bring you into their life, or for them to come into your life, there's some amount of trust. So you don't have to break that trust. Yes, you don't have to break that trust, because once you break that trust, guess what? Game over. Because that your partner will never trust you with their secrets anymore. And once they don't trust you with their secrets, you're not going to enjoy the relationship, because they'll be hiding for you potential information that are meant for you to understand, for them to open up to you. Because if they don't open up to you, they don't feel vulnerable around you, how can you enjoy the relationship? It means they see you like an enemy. And that's the point. Most relationships we see online, everything is cool and dandy, it's rosy. But behind closed doors, they are enemies, they are fighting, they have these inner battles. Secretly, right? But out there, you see everything is cool and dandy, it's rosy. Yes, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You don't have to come to the media or publicly to expose your problems. But again, there's no need for you to be in a relationship where you're dying inside and then you're pretending you're happy. For me, I always live my truth. Whatever I do, if I don't enjoy it, I quit. I move. I don't seek validation from people for me to feel good about what I do. Whatever I do, if I'm not enjoying it, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whatever situation it is, I'm gonna quit so fast and move on. Because life is too short. Life is way too short for you to live a very miserable life, right? So you always have to find things that you enjoy doing, relationship that you enjoy being in, right? If you don't enjoy it, what's the point? You might as well just stay single. There's no crime of being single if you don't find the right partner, right? Because if you find the wrong partner that is gonna damage your psyche, it's gonna prepare you for you to be so furious, to keep this animosity, this resentment for the other relationship, and you start comparing your past relationship to the next. Most people don't give themselves the time to heal in order for them to go into a new relationship, and that's the problem. That's why as soon as you start seeing some signs of damaging habits, right, the best thing is to protect your sanity, your well-being, your mental state. Just quit. Yes, you quit and call it today. Throw in the towel. I'm not saying if the person is not too intense, you don't amend or you don't find, because there's no perfect relation, there's no perfect human being, there's no unicorn. But the point I'm trying to say, once it's apparent that this person to the core of their being is a toxic person, and there's no clear sign, there's no prospect of seeing that this person will change, or there's nothing that suggests that this person is going to change, and you want to be in that relationship to be repeating the perpetual cycle of the same thing happening over and over again, the choice is yours. But for me, I choose peace, I choose love, I choose calmness, I choose joy. Yes, because I'm the kind of person that I'm happy by myself alone, without anyone. So if I go into someone else's life, I have a lot to bring. Yes, I have a lot to offer. Not only material things, but intellectually, spiritually, academically, right? Just name it. The list goes on and on and on, because I'm always working on myself, and I believe I deserve the same thing in return. Yes, because I understand a lot of reciprocity. Most people don't understand a lot of reciprocity. I'm not even the kind of person that like to be given things all the time without returning back the same favor. That's not my natural makeup. That's not my natural inclination, right? But we are all different. Most people, they don't see that way. Life is all about a two-way street, right? It's the yin and yang, right? The opposite of positive and negative. Everything has the advantages and disadvantages, but it's your choice to choose what works for you best. But all I can say is, if you don't live your life each day as if it's another heavenly, beautiful, blessed day, then you're losing in life, because life is too short. Guess what? All human beings, right? How long do we live? If we are lucky, 100 years. Guess how many billions of years the earth is old? How old the earth is? Only for you to live 100 years. And in those 100 years, 50% of those years, or even 60 or 70%, we spend that in sleeping, eating, working. So we only get to live probably 10 to 20%, right? And that 20%, some people don't even have the experience or the luxury or the opportunity to live that kind of 10 or 20%. They use it on stressful situations, bad relationships, predicaments, fighting. It's too much. But people don't see it that way. Your calmness, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you position yourself, the way you live your life, tells that you have a better life. And don't forget, life is not how long you live, right? It's how good you live. Yes, someone might live 50, 60 years. Maybe they'll have the best experience more than someone that lives 100 years or plus. So it depends how you live your life. So yes, you as a human being, you have to find the person that is suitable for you. If you don't find a person that's suitable for you, you might as well just be single, because it's pointless anyway.